Salt.
You've heard a lot of talk about sea salt these days, and much of it is confusing and misleading. So we've come here to the sea, the place where all sea salt comes from, in order to demystify it and get rid of all the myth information that's out there. Well, what is sea salt? In fact, there's no official definition for sea salt, but it's generally understood that sea salt is harvested from surrounding seas using wind and solar evaporation. Whether this takes place in naturally protected areas near the shore or in a complex of highly sophisticated evaporation ponds, the seawater is concentrated into brine until it is saturated enough to be harvested. Because there are variations in the way sea salt is produced around the world, it can vary considerably from one location to another. As an example, a famous French salt, fleur de sel, consists of the salt flakes that float to the surface of the brine where it is carefully harvested. As a result, sea salt is not a standardized product and can vary considerably in flavor and texture, and even its basic sodium chloride or salt content. Sodium chloride is what gives the salty taste. Other minerals and materials in the sea modify that typical taste to a greater or lesser extent. There's a lot of talk about the nutritional value of these other components, but no reliable clinical studies are around to support it. Many people believe that natural sea salt contains sufficient iodine to replace the iodine found in iodized table salt, but without exception this is not true. Since iodine is critical for mental development in children, please understand that natural sea salt, unless specifically iodized and labeled as such, will not provide sufficient iodine. Now, let's have a look at a few of the many varieties that are available. Now here we have a demonstration of various types of sea salt that I've laid out for you, and you can see that they vary tremendously in color and in texture. The top row of salts are called roasting salts, and as their name implies, they're added to roasts and poultry before they go into the oven to be cooked. That second row is called pan salts, and they are used to add to food that is being sautéed in a pan. And that final bottom row is called finishing salts, and they are used to add to the food after it's been cooked to give it both taste, texture, and color. And you can see the color varies from white to absolute black, and everything in between, including pinks and reds. So, enjoy the bounty of the sea, eat a balanced diet, complete with fruits, vegetables, and salads, and bon appetit.
Salt.